Hey everyone, what's up? So this is day 6 of the small account challenge. So for those of you that have been following me for a little while, you remember that I started last Monday with $2,510 in my account, and the goal was to grow it as fast as possible, ideally to get over $10,000 within the rest of the month of August. So last week we managed to grow the account 75% over the course of the week. And today we've had a phenomenal day. So we've had a 2200 day, We've had a $2,200 day. So we only traded the one stock. It was one trade. We got in, we got it halted into an upside volatility halt. It gapped higher on resumption, and we put a trailing stop in place on resumption. We got stopped out. We're $2,000 up, $2,200 up. So given that we were looking for $400 profit today, gross profit today, 10% of the equity, we managed to get more than 5 times, 5.5 times, in fact, on that. So it was a good day. No more trading. I'll show you the how we actually traded it. And where we got in and everything else. We traded the new APE stock, which is an AMC preferred shares. And this was the dividend that was given out to AMC shareholders last Monday, and it went live today. So it's an IPO live today. It resumed, it opened at $6.95 this morning upon the market open. And it quickly moved up into a volatility halt upwards. Upon resumption here, a quick pullback, 5-minute volatility halt, but on the quick resumption, it had a quick pullback before then moving up into another volatility halt. We entered on this upwards move, and we got 90% of our buying power into this move, and we entered, so $4,000 worth of stock. We entered the position, and it was 863 we got filled, and it went up into a volatility halt, another 5-minute volatility halt. On resumption here, it opened at 970 before moving quickly up. We set a 10-cent trailing stop in place as it started to move up. It pulled quickly back, stopped us out, and flushed down into a downside volatility halt. Another 5 minutes later, it did resume much higher, moved up, and then flushed down into another downside volatility halt. But when it was on resumption, it actually gapped down. It did have a move back up before moving back down again. It had another downside volatility halt here, another 5-minute waiting period before resumption, before it gapped up. And then it moved up into a upside volatility halt. So the volatility on another downside volatility halt here. So the volatility on this in the first 40 to 45 minutes was huge. It was very fast moving. There was quite a bit of volume involved in it as well. And we'd already made $2,000 on our $4,000 account at this stage. So we got over 50% of our account in terms of gains on the day, and we've more than doubled our account size in the course of 6 trading days. So all very good. Things are going in certainly in the right direction. If we look at the account itself right now, we've had 5 green days, today being the biggest of ones, only one small red day. But let's have a look at what we've done. In terms of gross profit, because we've not been taking many trades, we've been kind of get in, make the gains, get out, almost scalping, but we've been holding the position for approximately 3 minutes, so not quite scalping on average. And we've made over $4,000 in profit since last Monday. So tomorrow our starting position will be a little over $6,000, about $6,100. $6,100 will be where we start tomorrow in terms of equity on the small account. That means that we can start being a little bit more aggressive because we'll have a buying power of about $36,000. And that means that we can actually trade some larger stocks. We can trade some stocks that we don't have so much leverage. We don't have to be as picky with the stocks that we're trading in terms of whether we get leverage with them, or whether they're a bit too overpriced for us, because now we're getting some decent buying power. And this is the thing about being patient with the small account. The small gains, they add up, and in terms of the buying power, using your leverage, you get compounding effect on that leverage. So having a up to 6 times buying power, it basically means that I started off with $2,500 last week, or Monday last week. That effectively gave us a $15,000 buying power. There's not a lot of stocks that you can make big gains on with $15,000 worth of buying power. However, starting tomorrow, we're going to have a $6,000 account, and that gives us over $36,000 worth of buying power. So there's a lot more options available to us in terms of stocks that are volatile and stocks that we can trade, and we don't have to be as purely selective. I'm not saying that we should just be taking any trade. We should still be selective. Stock selection and trade selection is very important. That's another part of risk management. But certainly, I mean, if we look at what I'm saying about stock selection and trade selection, just look at the ratios that we've got here. 3 to 1 in terms of winners versus losers. So that's a really good ratio. 2 to 1 is what you really should be looking for. Even if you get an evens on your trade selection, as long as you've got a good risk versus reward, then you will be profitable. And my risk versus reward, I've made $4,000 and I've lost $100. So that's a 40 to 1 or 41 to 1 in terms of gains versus losses. So that in itself is great. Granted, today makes a big difference. It's a small subset of data based on the 6 days so far, but if you can extrapolate that over the course of the year, you'll earn a good living doing it that way. You can see the cumulative P&L here. That today we made huge inroads for the move up. We did have that one small red day, $38 red day last week, but we quickly recovered on that. So we're in a very, very good position as we move into the second half of the challenge. So I'll be back at it tomorrow. I may trade pre-market now, so that now that I've got a decent sized account, I won't be afraid to trade pre-market with this account in terms of $6,000 starting equity. It does give us that $36,000 buying power. So if there's a $5 stock, we can afford to take a couple of thousand shares. We don't have to go 90% buying power, all in our fold, if you will. We can take 1,000 shares here. We can take 2,000 shares there, or whatever the case may be. And it gives us just a little bit more flexibility in our trade selection. So join us tomorrow, 2 hours before the market opens. We'll be doing it again. That's 8 a.m. market time, New York, and that's 1 p.m. where I'm based in Ireland, or anywhere in the UK as well. 2 p.m. on the continent of Europe. If you're anywhere else, then work out your own time zones and come join me tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. We won't be trading huge amounts with the small account, but I will probably start being a little bit more preferential to the small account, given the way that I had a big red day on the main account today, and tried to trade some very volatile stocks with big size, looking for a big quick home run win, and it completely went against me. So on 3 stocks in particular. So check out the other video for that. I'll do a separate trade recap video for that. Check that out. That'll be posted shortly. In the meantime, we're doing well on the I've got to look for the positives, and we're doing well on the small account. So come join us tomorrow and we'll do it all over again. I look forward to seeing you there. Take care. Enjoy your evening.